Episode 197. Just like Blue River, Tyrannical Ambition's Cold Night Crossing was also offline. Both men, having lost their grip on the situation in the 10th server, felt they needed to call in reinforcements from headquarters. So, without a word to each other, they logged off and headed straight for the Divine Realm. Both men recognized each other's avatars in the Divine Realm, and they were already on each other's friends list. When they logged in and checked for their respective guild leaders, they spotted one another. An unspoken understanding passed between them, and neither asked any questions. Lan River quickly contacted his guild leader, Spring Also Old. He had already expressed his intention to come along for the dungeon run to see just how strong Lord Grimm was, but he had never found the chance. For the Burial Grounds dungeon, they did invite Lord Grimm, but he showed up with a full team of his own, leaving no room for their own guild members. After the Burial Grounds dungeon, Lord Grimm's strength was universally acknowledged. That insane dungeon record completely shattered the players' imaginations. So let's skip the whole proving your strength thing. Lord Grimm, just go all out and fight for it. So, what was the result? They fought and fought to recruit him, only for Lord Grimm to end up with Moonlit Frost. And then this whole mess happened, leaving Blue Brook Guild covered in filth. Blue River was at a complete loss for words. Chun Yi Lao was working diligently even at this late hour, leading the guild's elite players in a determined push through the dungeon. The difficulty of dungeons in the Heavenly Domain is no joke. Plus, in Glory, there's no respawning after death in a dungeon run. So for high difficulty instances, it's common to not clear them in one go. Sometimes you push to a certain point, lose too many players, and just can't continue. Even an elite team like Blue Brook Guild, one of the big three, was now facing such a devastating setback. A 40-man raid, a once-a-week opportunity, and they were 2/3 through when over half the team had already fallen. Under those circumstances, there was just no way to keep going. At this point, holding on any longer is pointless. In the Heavenly Domain, aside from those who lost experience from dying, no one actually needs the experience points. In the end, guild leader Spring Breeze made the decisive call to give up. The entire party withdrew from the dungeon, their morale at rock bottom. Then they saw Lan River, who should have been active in the 10th server, waiting outside with his character, Blue Bridge Spring Snow. Of course, Spring One had already been in contact with Blue River. At this moment, though Spring One Old was in a foul mood, he couldn't possibly take it out on Blue River in the 10th server. So, he calmly approached to ask what had happened. And these fellow elites from Blue Brook Guild were no outsiders, so they naturally gathered around to listen in. Before Spring Old could even respond to Blue River's explanation, a cold snort of derision already rose from the crowd. Lan He didn't need to look. He knew exactly who it was. That guy was incredibly popular within the guild. The only person he ever clashed with was a player named Ardoo In Chui Ingyi. Talk about asking for it. I've only been back to the Heavenly Domain twice since the 10th server opened, and both times I just happened to run into Shorebound Willow. Looks like my luck's been pretty lousy lately.
He's super expert. He snorted derisively. What a joba. Just who are the people heading to the 10th server to pioneer it?
Ryan Chuyang seemed to be muttering to himself. Lan He couldn't help but feel a surge of irritation. He had just explained the record Lord Grimm had set. With that kind of benchmark, which of these elite players here couldn't figure it out? This guy really is no ordinary player. But that guy sure pulling Willow, he knew it full well. Yet he just had to make that snide, sarcastic jab.
The record for the Burial Grounds is just too insane.
Chun Yi Lao, however, completely ignored Luan Chuyang and began to speak.
There's no way the results could be this bad, right?
Yeah, many experts chimed in. He's using hacks. That's just how high-level players think. They're so familiar with the game, they know what's impossible. So, the only explanation left is cheating. But these days, that's just a sarcastic remark. Glory has been cheat-free for years.
The Crystal Caverns record, that one doesn't seem quite so outrageous.
Hearing Spring Elder's words, Blue River replied,
Yeah, they ran this dungeon right after hitting level 30.
their gear is lacking.
And the skill level of their 5th player is probably nothing special. Tisk, tisk, tisk. And just like that, we broke your record. Guild leader, let me handle this. I guarantee I'll take that record back. Doesn't the current situation demand that our people set a new record to show those newcomers in the 10th server what's what?
Rao and Chaniyang chimed in from the side, though it wasn't without a jab at Lan River, but his assessment of the problem was spot on. Blue River had returned precisely to seek help in this area. He needed elite players to pioneer the new 10th server. Of course, they couldn't send too many elites. Take this current dungeon team, for instance. Among the experts in Blue Brook Guild's 10th server branch, probably only he and Chuan Cheng were on the same level as these players. And some of them were probably even stronger than those two. Take Ardo and Chulyi Ang, for instance. Even Spring Elder, who's always favored Blue River, has openly admitted that Blue River still falls just a bit short compared to him. A full team of such experts would undoubtedly surpass any elite squad currently operating in the 10th server. They might even have the strength to challenge Lord Grimm's dungeon records.
Where are the accounts for our people? On your side located.
It's unavoidable. Glory uses a physical card login system. If you're hiring a substitute player, you've got to find someone local so they can actually get their hands on the account card.
I've got the stats on hand.
I'll send it to you in a bit. Alright. I'll have someone get in touch with you.
Right, I'll get on it right away!
With that, Blue River logged off.
Count me in, guild leader.
Rao and Chuyang volunteered again. Though Spring's End's repeated dismissals rankled him, he still held a deep respect for the guild leader. A man as arrogant and domineering as Rayang Chuyang would never limit his sights to just being one of Blue River's top 5 experts. He harbored ambitions of reaching the level of a guild leader like Chun Yi Lao. Unfortunately, in his deliberate and casual spars with the guild leader, his current record stands at 11 losses and 2 wins. Cheng Yi Lao's superior skill was plain for all to see. When speaking with Cheng Yi Lao, he simply didn't dare to show any temper.
Let's wait for Blue River to tally up the account cards. First, then we'll see where they're from.
Cheng Yi Lao said with a flat, indifferent tone, yet his attitude was quite clear. You, Rao Wan Chuyang, aren't that special either.
This isn't something only you can do.
This dungeon run was a total failure. How many times have we wiped at the 2/3 mark? Everyone needs to seriously think about why.
All right, everyone dismissed. Spring Chill's topic suddenly swung back to theirs. After a few brief words, he logged off. The others soon dispersed as well, leaving only Riverbank Willow and his few die-hard followers, who now gathered together, seething with resentment. These few were all considered rising experts within Blue Brook Guild, with Ardodang Chuyi as their leader, each one eager to steal the spotlight. Today, when Rao and Chuyang's attempt to steal the spotlight was ignored, it sparked a shared sense of indignation within their team. The guild leader is clearly favoring Blue River. One of the players remarked,
What can you do? He's the guild leader.
Of course, he doesn't want internal guild conflicts to get too serious. You can tell by how he's been deliberately avoiding a duel between Chui Yang and Blue River. Another player chimed in.
Yeah,
They just sent Blue River to the 10th server. That's decisive. Just who is this Lord Grimm? Anyway, you know what?
That record really is insane. Though earlier, they had all been quite pleased to watch Ardo Dong Chuyi and put Blue River on the spot. But now, even these guys were expressing their amazement at this record.
the burial grounds.
This is truly rather baffling. I've decided to look into it.